Hello, it's another book and physical media haul. Hi, I'm Olivia. This is AV Club, where I'm usually talking horror, lit fic, weird books, whatever I want to talk about. And it really hasn't been that long since my last book haul, but my box has already filled back up and I'm ready to put this stuff away. So, yeah, we'll just do it real quick. Today, I have a mix of library books, used books from the op shop, and then a ton of DVDs. So I'll timestamp everything at the bottom and just check out what you're interested in. We definitely have some gems in the mix, especially the CDs I'm so excited for. First up is my used books, and the first one is a book that I have been wanting to read that I've been hearing a lot about. Patricia Wants to Cuddle by Samantha Allen. Do we like this cover as much as the American one? I feel like the American one tells you maybe a little bit more of the vibe that it's going for, but yeah, it's somehow a monster horror weird girl book. And monster horror weird girl book is the exact kind of thing I like to read. Also a reality show. Renee should be thrilled to have been chosen as one of the final four contestants in The Catch, the world's biggest reality show. But now that she, the other contestants, and Jeremy the Catch have arrived on the remote wooded island for the final show, Renee is starting to wonder if there's something wrong. Is she taking a bigger risk than she thought? And as she and the other contestants begin their final challenges, they slowly realize the island they've been taken to is hiding a terrifying secret, one that could make the final elimination event all too real. I love a reality show. I love weird girl horror. This is getting read sooner rather than later. I have kind of a TBR cooking up already, but this is going to be read sooner rather than later. Exiles by Jane Harper. This is one of the Aaron Falk books, and I think I've read all of them so far except for this. The Dry Force of Nature. Is that it? I think there's one more that I've read with him in it. But this is the most recent one, I believe. I'm also reading an arc of her newest book, The Last One Out, I believe it's called. And that one's going okay. But I was missing Aaron Falk. I don't usually love a cop detective, but Aaron Falk has kind of grown on me. And I think more so since I see him in my mind as Eric Bana from the movies. And yeah, the narrator for these books is so good. Whoever is the narrator for the Aaron Falk books is incredible. But we can try reading one with our eyeballs too. At a busy festival site on a warm spring night, a baby lies alone in her pram, her mother having vanished into the crowds. A year on, Kim Gillespie's absence casts a long shadow as her friends and loved ones gather deep in the heart of South Australian wine country to welcome a new addition to the family. Aaron Falk, federal investigator, is joining the celebrations, but as he soaks up life in the lush valley, he begins to suspect this tight-knit group may be more fractured than it seems. As hidden truths slowly emerge, Falk faces the darkest of questions. I think I like the Falk books a little bit more than the one I'm currently reading, although I have read another one of hers, The Lost Man, that also was kind of detectiveless. Because there's kind of like multiple mysteries going on whenever it's like Aaron Falk. Like there's the mystery that he's going to investigate and also like how it relates to him. And South Australian wine country sounds like a wonderful place to set a mystery. So, yeah, all of these books are just kind of comforting to me, which is maybe an unexpected thing to say about kind of murder crime Australian books, but they are also like Australian gothic, and this one sounds less gothic, I guess, but there's just like something that is like comforting about the setting even whenever it is like so Australian gothic. um she just like has a very naturalistic writing style that really puts you in the place, the locations that she's talking about. Not sure when I'll get to this one since I'm not loving the current Jane Harper book that I'm reading, but I will get to it at some point because I do like the series. Oh, how cool is this? Meg by Steve Alton. This is such a wonderful, beautiful cover of Meg, which I never saw the movie. So this will be my first introduction to the Meg, which is a megalodon. I believe this was written after Jaws. Yeah, 1997. So it is also about a giant shark, but this one is a prehistoric shark. Holy smokes, I love this description. Fossilized megalodon teeth from around the world prove that the species dominated the oceans as long as 70 million years ago. The megalodon survived the cataclysmic events that occurred 40 million years ago when the dinosaurs and most prehistoric species of fish perished. Indeed, evidence has suggested that these predators were still in existence only 10,000 years ago. Can we be sure the megalodon is extinct today? Good question, Steve Alton. Um, I don't know when I'm reading Meg. I don't know. But yeah, I could definitely get down with a Jurassic shark. And I think that's just like a gorgeous, tacky, campy cover Just love it. And then if you watch my Stella Prize long list video, the next books will be familiar to you. They're my current library books. The first two being Thunderhead and Fireweather by Miranda Darling. And these are two companion novels. Fireweather is on the current Stella Prize long list. Please check out that video if you haven't. I love the Stella Prize, and I talk about all of the long list entries and don't rate them because I haven't read any of them yet, but I give my predictions on what I think could be a winner based on nearly nothing. But yeah, that's a cool video. Check that out. But Fireweather and Thunderhead are about a woman, also a Mrs. Dalloway. These books are somehow based on Virginia Woolf's Mrs. Dalloway. To what extent, I don't know. This one I think is more about her being in motherhood. She's still married. This one is post-divorce. I'm not exactly sure if I have to read this one to read Fireweather, but yeah, if I'm going to read this one for the long list, I might as well read both of them. But look how gorgeous these covers are. The foiling on that one is incredible. It makes me feel like I need to read both of them because they look identical. So we'll find out. The Rot by Evelyn R. Lewin. This is poetry about girlhood, late stage capitalism, the death of country, capital C country, death on country, capital C country, and the bloody violence of settler colonies here and afar. She won, I believe, the Stella Prize a few years back for her collection Drop Bear. So I'd be surprised if she won again so soon, but not out of the question. But I didn't read that. So this will actually be the first thing I read by her. And I definitely don't read enough poetry. So yeah, keen to get to this one. It looks like she plays with form a lot. Like some are almost like more like paragraphs. Some looks a little bit more like traditional form, some a little, different again. So it looks like a lot of variety there. Very excited to get to it. And then Memorial Days by Geraldine Brooks is a memoir nonfiction about the sudden loss of her husband on Memorial Day 2019 while they were living in the United States in Washington, D.C. And yeah, they were working as foreign correspondents for a long time. I don't know if he is Australian actually, but she's from the western suburbs of Sydney. And it's about the sudden loss of her husband. They were raising young boys in the United States as well. But then a couple years after the loss of her husband, she goes to live or stay on this remote island off of Australia and finally gives herself the chance to grieve. So it is like a memoir about grief. Again, this is on the Stella Prize long list, so I will be getting to it soon. Sounds like it's potentially a difficult read, but I'm sure it is beautifully written, and we'll find out together. Somehow, those are the only books that I have currently. The rest is just physical media. So if that doesn't appeal to you, that's fine. I just like talking about it because I love talking about getting back into appreciating media in a different way. Almost entirely off of streaming now. We really are watching a lot of DVDs and listening to CDs. Don't really, I switched from Spotify to Apple Music last year, but now I'm not even really using Apple Music, really trying to just like appreciate and collect stuff in my house. And I'm having a great time doing that so far. And the first is a CD that, of course, I owned and was one of my most played CDs ever, but is, still living in America. Evanescence's Fallen. Oh my gosh, this went quadruple platinum whenever I was like 11, 12 years old. Like, this is one of the biggest CDs of my middle school years. And yeah, I could still, probably sing every word to this. I remember whenever I was getting back into running here, like even now I can listen to this album and it's like a wonderful running album. So I was so happy to find that for $1, as well as another one of my favorite albums of all time, one of my favorite artists, and my favorite album by this artist, Kylie Minogue's X. And the reason this isn't a DVD case is because it's actually like a Japanese release of the CD. So cool. I am so excited that I found this. Just like over the moon, because this really is like one of my favorite albums and I've never owned it before. There's like a huge fold out poster in here. Yeah, I love having a release from a different country too. That's cool. I mean, I guess technically this is also a release from a different country. Like, I know my American copy did not just have this like cheap black thing right there. It had like actual artwork in that fold as well. But yeah, what wonderful finds. And then I have a ton of DVDs because we are like building up our collection. We're watching so many DVDs. It's so much fun. And just like thinking for the future about like what will eventually I want one of my kids to see at some point. So these DVDs will really run the full range, as well as we were trying to get to 20 DVDs so that I could get a discount at my op shop. So yeah, there's a ton of stuff here. Spy Kids, obviously a classic. Excited to see Alan coming again. We've been binging Traders and loving seeing him again. So yeah, I kind of want to watch this really soon. The Wedding Singer, I've never seen this, but I know it's kind of like a comedy classic and seems like the kind of thing that you should own on DVD that you might want to watch anytime. Silence of the Lambs, also obviously a classic. I've only seen this the one time, so I know this is a lot of people's like favorite movie. I don't know that I could watch this like all the time. I remember it being kind of a difficult watch, so Australian classic Happy Feet, coming to you from the same director as Mad Max. Uh, I've never seen this, so I don't think they'll let me be a citizen until I have. 2 DVD movie pack of The Mummy and The Mummy Returns. I've only ever seen the first one, and I don't remember anything about it, so keen to watch it again. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Never seen it. Can you believe it? Classic. Never ever seen it. The Age of Innocence, Scorsese's like only romance. I've never seen this. So excited to see it. I love a historical romance movie. Really. Oh, the Da Vinci Code. I probably would not have like even kept this movie in my memory except for we rewatched at Christmas time the Kath and Kim Code, which is about like Kath Day Knight and Kel Knight becoming obsessed with the Da Vinci Code. But like I loved this book in middle school. Like I didn't know what the Illuminati was then, so I thought like it was all ideas that he had made up from scratch. And I forgot that this movie was directed by Ron Howard. Like, why were skilled hands on this property? I kind of feel like it would be like rewatching National Treasure, in which I mean like very entertaining. Hopefully we find National Treasure soon. That's a DVD that we need. Confessions of a Shopaholic, I've never seen, but yeah, it has Lady Gaga's Fashion, the first Fashion by Lady Gaga, on the soundtrack. So how bad could it be? It sounds entertaining. Atonement. Daniel has never seen this, and I think that my heart will probably be ripped open again. That's all I can remember from it from watching it in high school, but I just feel like he has to see it at least once too. And we don't own the first one yet, and I've never seen this one, but Mad Max 2. I have only seen the original Mad Max and then the new ones. I believe that's true. I don't think I'm making that up. I don't remember if I have seen this, but yeah, I obviously, again, I will not be granted citizenship if I don't own a copy of Mad Max 2. That would be crazy. Another movie I've never seen, Spice World, the movie. I just feel like I was maybe a little bit too late to be like part of the big Spice Girls hype in the US. And then, it probably had a little bit more longevity in the UK and Australia. So I just have never seen this, but I would like to. Now, wait a second. Did I really do that? I got not one, not two, but 3 George Miller films at the op shop this time, which, this is quite a collection of George Miller films. I loved Babe so much when I was a kid, but I have not seen it in so long. Can you believe that this was filmed in Australia? Like, he looked English, right? That looked like the English countryside, but no, this was filmed in Australia. And maybe we'll find Pig in the City at some point too. I've only seen Pig in the City once in theaters, and I remember it like stressed me out. I'm pretty sure James Cromwell went like vegan after acting in Babe, so we stand that. I think he's like metal about being vegan. Braveheart, another classic I've never seen. Marie Antoinette, a real classic that I haven't seen in so long. Gosh, I loved this movie so much whenever I was a teenager, but I never owned it. I always got it from the library. And so, yeah, this is the first time I get to own it, and Daniel's never seen it. I think that he'll really like it. I totally forgot Asia Argento was in this. Style for Days, my favorite kind of movie. Mommy, I've never heard of this. It looked crazy. I didn't look up any reviews of it or anything, but some sort of like horror movie about maybe a murderous 11-year-old child, maybe a murderous child, maybe the mommy's murderous. I don't remember. Stuff is happening suspiciously with this family. This looked like a to be original, which meant I needed to have it. I've never seen Dinosaur. Is this actually good? I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I love watching a freaky little Y2K 3D animated movie. Unopened copy of Little Women. Never watched this, the remake. Probably pretty good. I think it's probably like a Christmas time kind of watch. Romeo plus Juliet. Haven't seen this in years. Also one that I had to check out from the library and I've never owned before. Also Style for Days. Can't wait to rewatch that. Also, Australian director. Holy smokes, I can't wait to watch this again. This is like one of my favorite DVDs from whenever I was in I want to say elementary school, but I think I was actually in middle school when this came out. I don't see a year on the back of here for some reason. Anyway, I loved this one as well. I don't think if there was any after this, I don't think I saw them, but I loved this movie. Our introduction to Chris Pine. We just, for the first night, watched on DVD, of course, from the op shop, the first Austin Powers. I can't wait to watch this one. Also, so much style. I miss whenever comedies were well directed and stylish. Wild Things, another one I've never seen. Chicago, one that I've never seen in full, although I have the soundtrack on my iPod and I've listened to the soundtrack a million times. The Net, one of the early movies about hacking, and I think is like maybe kind of close to actual hacking. Something that's like wildly misrepresented in media a lot of times. So looking forward to that. And last but not least, 16 Candles. I just feel like it's something that should at some point be in my collection. And I could probably watch it anytime. Also, another one that I think I was getting from the library when I was in middle school. If I remember correctly, there's a lot of like problematic stuff in this one. So that'll be interesting to look at with 2026 eyes, with adult eyes. So yeah, that's everything I've gotten at the op shop in like the past month or so. I'm very excited to put this stuff away and be refreshing my box with hopefully more books next time. But yeah, looking forward to these books. Two of my favorite albums of all time on CD, and then a ton of movies. We are really building a physical media collection here. So let me know, what are you collecting? Would you be excited to see any of these in the op shop? What is your holy grail thing that you're looking for in the op shop? Until next time, I will talk to you later. Bye.